What's good, everybody? This is Ray Daniels, aka the Culture Referee, and I'm here to talk to you about Two Lost Distribution. They are one of the most technologically advanced distributors in music. They distribute to more stores than any of the distributors around. They distribute, they give you 100% of your royalties. They only charge you $3 a month, and you have an instant option to get an advance from these guys. So if you're watching this and you want to be in the music business and you're trying to figure out how to get help, I'm here to tell you, go to twolost.com and use the word GODS as your coupon code, and you get the first 3 months free.
I had a special guest. I wanted to do something different because this guy is a friend of mine. He's been dealing with a lot of stuff in public, and I just wanted to get him on the show. I said, let's do it away from it. Let's just make it feel different, because this conversation is not an interview. This is a conversation between two brothers who just so happen to have the name Ray, and we're gonna talk about all the things happening around my brother right here, and we're gonna get to the other side. So without further ado, I want you guys to welcome my brother, Benzino. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, team. Let's a little clapping.
Man,
by the way, Benzino made me feel so special because you are fresh.
Oh, no, I appreciate it.
He showed up fresh.
Man, you know, I had to do it justice, man. Your house is beautiful.
Thank you, man. Thank you. We were speaking, man, and I know you told me that you wanted to, you know, we just always talk about all the things kind of going on.
Right.
And we just said, let's do something different, because this is to kill the drama. So we don't have no more in 2024.
Once and for all.
This is to kill the drama.
Get it out the way.
So we're doing it in a different location because we want people to know that this conversation is different. It's called Real Rap.
Right.
Ray is his real accountability partner. That's what I'm here for. Yeah. So how you doing, first of all?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm good, man. I'm good, man.
I've been listening to your music all day, by the way.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I've been listening to all day.
Right. I didn't know that.
I had to get the zone, man.
That's
I had to
a bonus.
get the Benzino world,
That's
man.
a bonus, man.
Get about 30,
Come
50
on,
streams.
man. You kidding me? Look at all this.
Get about 30,
listen to
50
my
streams,
music and, man, listen.
On,
no,
man.
it's an honor.
Come
it's
on,
an
man.
honor, man. You're the master.
Is that there's some things on here that I want to talk about, because I've been a fan of you since I was a young boy. So I've heard rumors of you. No, listen, I heard rumors of you about how you didn't play. So I was like, man, you heard that? You didn't hear that? And all these rumors, and I'm like, man, I don't want to ask him about it, because I feel like that's like some real, like, weird shit. But when you said, let's talk about it all, I got it all written down, and I want to get into it.
This is good, man. You know, I need this because, you know, one thing about it with the internet is, you know, perception, narratives. And if you allow perception and narratives to continue, they become people's reality.
Absolutely.
And I just don't want that. You know, I think I've worked hard to change. And, you know, it's good that I've worked on myself. And I felt like, you know, like when you work on yourself, but I left feeling good all the time. I just felt like, you know, with all the stuff that goes, not only we can probably kill a lot of the perception, but also I could learn from you on how to resolve a lot of this.
And to be honest with you, that's what I'm here for, because also I've been listening to your music all day in the house, but as I was running around the last 24 hours, I've been listening to your interviews. But I'm listening to it different now, because now it's not to get the edutainment part of it, to get the clicks. It's about getting to clarity. So I'm like, damn.
Right.
So as I was listening, I was like, man, I'm glad I'm doing this, because I do feel like I have a perspective for you that I feel like can help. So in these conversations, I'm going to challenge you from time to time, but it's only because I'm trying to be accountable, and because I know there are people watching who feel stuff. So before we go, I want to say something. The reason why I wanted to do this for everybody is that from the minute I met this brother, it's been love.
It has been. I'm not even going to front, and I really appreciate that.
And then you know, of course, you start seeing shit, and you're like, why is this person? Why that person? I'm watching a Vlad interview, and he's like, I don't mess with Benzino. I'm like, what? So I'm like, why don't this? He is the coolest, easiest guy. So I'm about to learn also and get to the other side with you too, because I can't understand it. I'm being honest with you. I kind of understand it a little bit now that I've been watching interviews. Okay, I get it. I checked out what Busta said. A lot of that stuff, I'm like, okay, I get that. But I didn't understand where all the Benzino tearing down the reputation that hate comes from. And I feel like I'm glad you did this with me because everybody watching knows I have no malice in my heart. And the only thing
you're a great guy.
Thank you, bro. The most important thing that matters to me is family. And even now, as you was on your way over here, I have my 6-year-old daughter running around the house, and I couldn't imagine 15 years from now going through this, what you're going through with her. So I couldn't imagine that. So for me, this is lessons learned for me and everybody watching. So let's get into it. So the first thing I think we should address is the situation with you and Coi. So I'm gonna sit back and I just want you to kind of like talk to me and give me insight on how we got here. Because you said, I heard today that you said it's been a 5-year smear campaign in your mind against you, and I never knew that. So I want you to just like lay out the Coi thing right now.
Of course, first and foremost, you know, she's my only daughter.
Yep.
My only daughter, when she was born, she was this little, you know, real, you know, Coi came out real light-skinned. Her mom is brown, like your complexion.
Yeah.
She was just like this doll. And, you know, her mom had 2 boys prior me meeting, and then, you know, I had a son. So it was just boys. It was like a lot of, so when Coi came, it was like, yo, this is special.
The princess.
And it was special, and I always, for a street guy, I always felt like when she came, you know, it softens a street guy up. And you know, and that right there, that was a good thing. I needed that. I needed that softening, and that's what she did. It was just so special having a daughter, and I mean this, I can't explain it any other way without it sounding corny, but she just really was a little doll baby. And you know, her mother, her name is Asia, so her mother has you know, black Asian looks. And when Coi came out, it was just like, wow, you know, her eyes, I mean, you know, and you know, I named her that. I named her Coi Leray. I used to always.
So that's her real name?
That's her real name. And I gave it to her. It was like, it's 2 separate names. Like Coi, C-O-I, and of course the koi fish, you know, I just always looked at, you know, like koi fish is like just something real, again, special, something, you know. And then Leray came in because my name is Raymond.
Yeah.
And I just felt like Coi Leray had a nice sound to it, and her mother loved it. And next thing you know, we named it Coi Leray. I was there at the hospital when she came out.
Oh, wow.
Nervous as hell, you know, as usual, you know. I don't like to really like look down there, so I'm at the top, like push, you know, push. And then when it comes out, I'm saying they have to kind of like come over for me to grab it because I'm so nervous. And yeah, man, you know, from the day she came out, she was special because there's nothing but boys but her. So she gets special treatment. Everybody knows it. It was no secret.
So she was the princess, so she got a little bit better treatment because she was special treatment because she was a child. Yep.
100%. And at that point, you know, me and her mom, you know, we're both from the hood. You know, we're both from Roxbury, Massachusetts, right?
Shout out to New Edition. That's a New Edition from, right?
That's,
Oh, Mike Bivens is from there.
Yeah. They're from Orchard Park. And you know, Coi's mom's family knows Mike and them real well because, you know, Boston's not that big. The hood of Boston's not that big. And Orchard Park projects, you know, I mean, that was like one of the main projects, and that's where New Edition's from.
Okay.
So coming up, me and Asia, you know, my family's real street, her family's real street, and we ended up getting together. And you know, 2 street people. You know, my thing is, look, you ain't got to work no job. I'm out here in the streets. I'm gonna get it. This was prior to really me getting money with the source. You know, this was like in the early '90s, and it was, you know, I'm out there getting it. You know what I'm saying? And we would move from apartment to apartment, but every apartment is getting better.
Yep.
You know, like we're getting
more and more.
You know, exactly, until we bought our first house in Easton. That was major for me.
Yeah.
I bought my first house. Like, that was big for me, you know. Wasn't nothing too crazy, just like a, kind of like a, it was in Easton, so it was kind of like in the suburbs.
Yeah.
So I could drive out the hood. I got them out the hood. You know, they're going to Easton High. You know, I get the boys, because the boys are the ones, you know, you really want to worry about because they're getting of age. You don't want them in the streets. So we got to get them out.
Exactly.
You know, I took on the role as their dad.
And how old are they?
At that point, there was Kwame and Marnie when they had to be about 10 and 8 when I met them, and then once we start, maybe even more than that, maybe 12 and 10.
Okay.
And then I just remember when we got to Easton, then, you know, Kwame was in high school, and, you know, and I was taking care of both of them as my sons. Their fathers were still living in the hood, and they would do what they could, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I don't look at that like they're with me, so I'm the primary, you know,
they're your sons.
Supporter.
I'm with their mother, they my sons. That's it.
That's what it was. And so we're moving on, and then that's when the Source started getting money at that time. Got a bigger house in Hanover, Mass. We had the indoor pool.
Oh wow!
I mean, it was crazy, and it was nice, and like.
And Coi was living at this.
Of course. Again, she's baby girl, so every step of the way. And then that's when we moved to. She was a baby when we moved to Jersey, and I got the mansion in Saddle River. So she was a baby, and my son's first video, Ray Ray, he was 7 years old, did a song with Case called Shine Like My Son. We shot a video,
strong,
you know what I'm saying, right. And Coi was in that, you know what I'm saying? She was like maybe 3 years old. She had the little fur on, maybe about 4 years old, maybe. Had the little fur, the little jewelry, she looking beautiful. And she's always been around music, no matter what, because no matter what, I had studios everywhere. We moved next to Ja Rule.
Oh, wow.
You know, so she kind of grew up with Ja's kids. You know, because he had a daughter and sons also, and then I had Coi had a little brother, which was mine's by her mom.
Got you.
Taj,
So the little brother came, okay, that's your son.
And her mother.
So from her mother, you have 2 kids?
I have 2
okay,
kids.
Perfect, I was just making sure, okay.
And, you know, they're about 6 years apiece.
Okay.
You know, 6 years apart. So, again, everything is good. I just think, like, when me and Asia broke up, I think, like, Coi was about maybe 9, 10 years old.
Okay.
And I didn't probably take in consideration how hard she took it, because one thing about
how hard she took it.
How hard she took it, because it never, like, Coi would never show those type of emotions. Like, she was tough. Like, she took on, like, her brothers, you know, tough. You know what I'm saying? And in my persona, her mother's tough street. You know. The grandmother was street. I mean, the whole, you know, Coi came up under a street family. So there's no question about it, she came up under that. But, you know, in my mind, like, no way, none of them are gonna be out there doing this if I can, you know, if I can help it. That's what we all think about. Even though we're street guys and we're selling drugs and we're doing all this stuff, no way we want our kids. You see, my generation of parents, I'm sure felt the same way.
Absolutely.
You know, we might not have got through high school. We surely didn't go to college. We surely are selling drugs. We're surely doing street stuff. But no way do we want our kids doing
involved in that.
I can't remember any of my friends that probably was thinking like, I want my son to do the shit I'm doing.
Exactly.
So, you know, I felt like I did good by getting them out the hood. You know, I felt like I did my job there, because, you know, Ray, there ain't no handbook. Like, you know, we don't have a handbook when we're raising these kids, man. Like, we're still unstable ourselves because we're still in the streets. Like, being a parent necessarily doesn't go with being in the streets, but we do the best we can. You know, and I did the best I could as far as looking at my father. My father's a street guy, in and out of jail. My mother was out of everybody in my life, the most organized, the most square. She wasn't with none of that street shit. She worked a job all the time. You know what I'm saying?
What did your mom do for a living?
Well, she passed, but she you know, God rest my mother. That was like my best friend, you know. But she worked the post office. She worked at Prudential Insurance for 30 years. You know, in Boston, like in New York is the Empire State. In Boston was the Prudential building. So I remember she worked on the top floor. And I used to go to her job and everything. But, you know, again, my mother wasn't with any of that. Now, she knew what was going on, but...
She flew free.
You know what I'm saying? You know, I think, you know, and I was my mother's only and father's only son.
Got you.
I got a bunch of stepbrothers and stepsisters, but I'm the only child. Yeah, with my mother and dad. So, you know, me looking, I didn't necessarily have like the best role models to look at how to be a parent. I knew that my father and mother did a good job with me, as far as I'm concerned. They always kept good clothes on my back. We ate good. You know, like my dad, you know, even though he was locked up, you know what I'm saying? My mother was working, but my dad would still give her money. We had a washer and dryer. You know, I felt like...
Stuff like that in the hood is huge.
That was, you know what I'm saying? I was like, we all right, you know what I'm saying, back then. But I never, when you look back at it now, I never had any training on how to be a parent. All I knew what was right from wrong and what was a gray area. And I knew that I didn't want them in the streets. And I knew that I have to hustle and make sure that they have it so that they could live a better life. At that point, the Source magazine and me and Dave, we got together at 88. But at that point, it's like, I'm not looking at the Source to be made. I don't see myself as a millionaire. Like, I was getting good street money, but nothing like compared to what was coming. But I never visioned that.
And you probably wasn't ready for it.
That wasn't in the cards. I didn't even know that was gonna happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? But when it happened, it was like, okay, I got money now, and the only thing I can, as far as I could do, is just keep giving them more money and making sure they have money. If they have money, then everything is fine. And people take that for granted and say, well, you just can't be a parent and just give money. But with our skill set, what else did we know?
Well, I mean, and not only that, to add to that, if there's people watching, I mean, today it's a lot different today. Like, today you have a lot of black people making a lot of money, right? Like, I mean, we got a lot of millionaires right now, but back in those days, you didn't know any black millionaires. Being a black millionaire wasn't even an option. It was like, the only black millionaires we probably knew was George Jefferson on the Jeffersons.
That's right. And I didn't even know he was a millionaire.
You know what I'm trying to say? Well, he just had a dealer's apartment in the sky. That was making it to us. So as a father, and me being a father too, who's working a lot, because I think that's another reason why I can help through this, because I am a father that works a lot, that I do put money out. Obviously, people say your house is beautiful. I have another house in the neighborhood. It's beautiful. My family, all my family is on the same street. But somebody got to pay for this shit.
Right.
And in order for me to pay for this shit, I got to be gone. Because we don't have generational wealth. I'm creating it, but I'm still trying to make sure you guys live a great life while creating it. So sometimes, and just for Coi's sake, I want to say this to her, because when you did our show twice. The first time you did it, we posted it, and she expressed how she doesn't like that people talk to her father about you. And I respected that. That's why when you came the second time, we didn't do that. We just talked our shit.
I remember that.
But I feel like I am qualified as a father to say that, our worlds we come from, bro, like, we're taught man's supposed to give. Like, you could be there all you want, but we ain't got no money. You like, my dad was there, but we ain't have shit. You made sure that people had, and I think we gotta acknowledge that.
And the two things that you're not gonna be home from are street, when you're out there hustling, selling drugs, or the entertainment industry. These are two things that you are not gonna be at the house.
Yes.
So the only thing that we can do to supplement that is to make sure that everybody's happy. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm getting all this money, I'm just giving it to you.
Giving it to y'all.
I'm giving it to you. I'm giving, Asia had a $5,000 a month allowance. Just here, take that, bought her a brand new car.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, we're from Blue Ave, Roxbury.
And
ain't had shit.
And for people watching, I gotta make sure I say this. What year is this?
Man, this was in the 90s.
Okay, cool. $5,000 a month is a whole lot of money in the 90s.
It's like,
I can see somebody saying $5,000 a month, nigga. He's not talking about 2023. He's not even talking about the 2000s. He's talking about the 90s when $5,000 a month meant you was rich.
$5,000 a month. She got a brand new car.
Plus the car and the house and everything.
Plus all the bills and everything. And mind you, Coi's mother never worked a job when she was with me. We was together 9, 10 years. Never, ever, ever had to work a job because in my mind, I'm gonna get it.
Yep.
You don't got to. You take care of the kids.
That's how the family is supposed to do.
That's what we do. Now, I'm not going to be here, but when we are here, we're going to go on a trip. We're going to go places. We're going to do things. And my presence is still going to be felt. When I come home, I'm a strict father. So if I come home and the house is a mess, I'm going to scream. I'm going to yell. I've never put my hands on my kids, but I made sure I kind of, I try to scare them with my voice
that's
and
what
my
father's
presence.
supposed to be, though.
I try to,
Because you scare them in the house, so that way when they go outside, they don't make the mistakes.
I tell people this. I say, look, Coi twerks and Coi dressed provocative, but Coi never stripped. I'm proud of that. Coi never had a baby, got pregnant. Like my thing is, these are things that I'm proud of, and I'm not judging anybody else.
Not for sure.
Who strips or whatever.
Those are your goals.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
For your children.
I'm proud of that though, and when you look at it, having a daughter, you know what I'm saying, and she didn't have to do that. That's a great thing. And like I told you, and yes, I've been to strip clubs. I like going to strip clubs, but necessary hypocrisy.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's the world though. So that, to me, that's why I wanted to do this, because I see you. Like, I hate when people try to say, that's because I said so. No, you're saying this is how it is. Not even this is how it is. This is how I was raised. And at some point in time, you got to give me grace. I'm gonna say this: if Coi ever sees it, I just want to say one thing very important, dog. I grew up in a fucked up household where I never heard "I love you" as a kid.
Yeah.
I grew up in a fucked up, cold household, and I take care of my mom. My mom lives in a big ass house down the street and drives a Range Rover. I pay for it and everything. And a lot of people's like, "Why you do that for your mother?" You know why I do that? Because I had to give her grace.
Right.
My mother was 24 with 3 kids in the projects while my dad was in jail. What the fuck how would she know what love is?
I didn't hear "I love you" either.
That's my point.
I never heard my father say that to my mother. Not saying he didn't, but I never heard it.
So how do I know how to give love when I grew up without love? So that's why I think triggered this when I saw you said only part about it hurt me was when you said I can't even ask my daughter for money without it looking like clout.
I mean, again, I'm only going by what I always thought, that if you take care of your family financially, you know what I'm saying, that later on, those are the ones that you can lean on.
You're supposed to.
The most mistake, Ray, I made was I made a lot of money and didn't know how to manage money. I didn't know how to save money. I knew nothing about, all I knew about was getting up in the morning, heroin, cocaine, weed. I'm going out there to sell it. I'm gonna take the money I got, I'm gonna go blow it, and I'm gonna go do it again.
Yep.
And that became a repetitious thing in my life where I hustled and I knew how to get money.
Yeah.
It didn't matter if I didn't have money, because I would blow all my money.
Yeah.
Whatever's my profit, I'm blowing it all.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring my guys, we're gonna go shopping, and we're gonna blow it. Guess what? Because I know I'm coming back out tomorrow to make it again.
Yeah.
And that now that might have hurt me, because I never ever thought that I would meet somebody and be a part of a magazine, award shows, and millions of dollars, and I didn't. It was a blur. I didn't know what it was.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just knew that everybody around me didn't have money, so I had to take care of a lot of people, and I had no problem doing it.
Yeah.
Like, I fed a lot of people, not just jobs. We're talking cars, clothes, jewelry. You know, guys got their wives because of Benzino. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, I gave people stability, I gave them lives, I gave them hope, and I didn't do it for me to say here now or throw up in anybody's face. I did it because I thought that's what I was supposed to do.
Yep.
There was, you know, these are my friends.
Yep.
I don't have it. You know, I mean, if I have it, they don't have it.
Yeah.
How am I going to be the only one that has something? Everybody has to come and everybody eats. And it just so happens that we just was making so much money that I didn't understand it. I just figured, like, look, when me and Coi's mom broke up, I gave her a house.
Yep.
Okay? I said, look, here. It wasn't the mansion, but the house was worth in Upper Saddle River. I think it was worth about $700,000-800,000. The mortgage was about $1,800 a month. I said, look, you keep the house with the kids, Taj, Coi, Monty, Kwame, and then, you know, I'm gonna move to Miami. All right? I cheated on her. It wasn't right.
Of course.
I was a selfish person, because at that point, I really wasn't thinking of her feelings, and I wasn't thinking of my daughter's feelings and how that must have made her felt. Like, you know, although when we broke up, Coi, Taj, Ray, they all came with me 5 months out the year. Every vacation, you know, I'm buying all the school clothes, I'm buying whatever they need is still coming from me. She didn't want to keep the house because she says that, well, I can't afford the mortgage.
Yeah.
Well, we're breaking up. You're gonna have to get a job.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to make it work. I'm still throwing you $2,500. I got indicted by the feds, right?
Yeah.
I lost everything.
So hold on. So you got to. So before we get there, because I know that's on our list of things we're gonna talk about. I want to focus on Coi and what happened there, because to me, I feel like everything I got written down, all that shit is added all up together.
I think
it's still all secondary.
I just think that when we broke up, I just think that I didn't take now, and I'm looking in retrospect, because now I'm trying to find, you know, I'm looking at myself like, what did you do wrong, man? What did you do? And I know I'm not saying, you know, that the stuff that Coi's saying, most of it isn't true.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Stuff like let's get specific. What is she saying? Because that's what I was about to ask you. Before we go there, I was going to ask you first, at what moment, because you said it's been 5 years of her putting out music and you feeling like standing on your name. So at what point, what happened for you to feel that way?
The first time I heard "No More Parties."
And what was said in "No More Parties" that was?
I'm disappointed in my dad, and it just, I could not believe that. Like I couldn't fathom my daughter making a song about me and the songs being played on radio constantly across the country. And I'm like, I'm sitting back like, how the fuck did this happen?
Yeah.
I'm like, I wasn't ready for that. I'm thinking, what did I do to piss her off for her to say that? And then when I said something about it, she called me a bitch ass nigga online. Now
Hold on, you said something about it where?
I said, I might have said something to her mother.
You called her mother?
Flipping out. I probably should have held my emotions better. I was upset. At that point, you know, I'm still trying to work on my emotions and how I talk.
So it came out of nowhere? Were y'all in a good relationship at the time?
It came out of it. We wasn't in the best relationship because it seemed like...
Because what I wanted to ask you is, what do you think happened that made her
From 9 to 15, she's with me, it's good, but I got different women. Every time she comes down, there's different women. Coi, the boys don't give a fuck. See, one thing about boys are just that nobody cared about none of that. But Coi, I used to remember, any woman that I had, Coi would always like, Dad, I need some money so me and her can go to the mall. So I give her money, and the woman, she did this with everybody.
Yeah.
She did it with Coi Leray, she did it with Althea, she did it with Kitty, she did it with every single female that she would come, and I need some money to go to the mall. Here, I give it, okay, go ahead, go. And then later on, they would be like, man, your daughter. She's like, Coi. I was like, what? He was like,
this is what the women that you were with.
They would come back and say, they would all come back and be like, man, she's something else. Like, she, you know, grilled me, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, and I never spoke to Coi about it ever. Because I just didn't want to piss Coi off. Like, Coi, to me, took like a leadership role in the family, like, whereas like, you know what? I'm gonna chill out from Coi.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I didn't want to feel guilty because it's like, damn, I'm already feeling guilty because there's another woman and she has to come down. I used to feel awkward with my kids being around another woman. I used to always feel awkward.
Because you love them.
I don't know what it was. Yeah, I guess so, because I used to just feel awkward. I used to feel awkward, like, damn, this, like, you know what I mean? Like, I know because their mother, they don't see nothing but their mother. So I felt bad, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then that's not fair to the girl I'm with.
Yeah.
So these feelings is like, I'm like, damn, I'm not, you know, again, I didn't get taught this anywhere. I got to figure this shit out myself. So to 15 years old, I think, Coi, that's when things started changing. You know, whereas that she want to smoke weed.
Yeah.
She want to be bad in school.
Yeah.
The moms got upset, sent her down to come live with me in Atlanta.
Okay.
She went to Campbell High School.
Okay.
My thing is, look, her in charge. I got to be a football dad for the first time, taking my son to King's Elementary. He was the quarterback.
Yeah.
He started, took him to Ackworth, Dallas. Like, he won games. They'd never be that. This is my son Taj playing quarterback, and like, I'm getting goosebumps. Like, these, I'd never done those things. Be a part of, like, the kids would come to my house in Smyrna, and I would be like the football mom, but the dad. You know what I'm saying? And it was amazing. Now, Coi didn't necessarily want to be around her dad. She wanted to be around her girls. And
her girls being her mother.
Her girls in Campbell High School.
Got you.
Smoke weed, boys. And I said, look, ain't no boys coming at the house. Ain't no smoking weed. You do your homework. And whatever you want, I got you. Whatever you want, whatever you need. You're not old enough to drive a car yet, but you'll get there, and you'll get that. And that's when, like, things just started going different. She didn't want to live with me after a while because I guess I was too strict. And then the mom, you know, I think moms and daughters, I think moms let daughters get away with more than we do. And that's why I think, like, Coi stripping or doing provocative stuff, she would always be like, man, my dad would go crazy. Because I would yell, but I would never put my hands, I couldn't think about never on my sons, I would never put my hands on my daughter. But when I heard that, Ray, I couldn't understand it. I didn't know where it came from. It hurt me to the core. I was upset. I didn't know how to handle my emotions. And it just got worse from there. Because every time I felt like I would talk to her mother.
And this is after her song, she has a hit song blowing up.
That's a hit song, disrespecting me.
For sure,
I'm like,
what would her mom
it's not
say?
just the song. See, it'd be one thing if the song was just a diss song. This is a hit record.
That's on the radio.
I'm hearing it everywhere. Everywhere I'm going, I'm hearing my dad disappointed me, my dad, and I'm like, I didn't know that was coming. Like, you know, I've been through a lot of shit, but man, that came from left field. I don't know what field. Like, I'm just like, where did this come from? And
what would her response be and her mother's response be when you ask them about the dress line?
They didn't, you know, the mother's like, hey, look, you know, the mother's getting money from Coi now, and you know, whatever struggles they going through, they're not going through them no more. She's looking at Coi and it's like, but I'm like, this shit ain't right.
Yeah.
And I'm getting madder at that because the mother's necessarily not acknowledging it.
Yeah.
And I'm getting more madder
Yeah.
because she's not gonna say nothing. So now I feel like I can't do nothing at all. So I'm just taking it on the chin at this point. So
Okay.
I'm mad at Monty Lippman over here at Universal Republic.
Why are you mad at Monty?
Because, you know, Monty, Leo, all those, none of those guys liked me when I was up with Dave at the Source. Dave was Jewish, they Jewish.
Yeah.
They didn't fuck with me.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
They always thought I was the bad
The street guy in the pocket.
They always thought I was the bad guy. Dave's the good Jewish guy. He must be extorting Dave. He must be muscling Dave. But it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
I was the creative guy. I was the muscle. I mean, but you gotta be, we have a multi-million-dollar company.
Yeah.
You can't just let anybody come up there and just take your shit. So, you know, I had a crew of guys.
Got you.
And I didn't, you know, I just felt like Monty and them, like, would you exploit your daughter? Would you let your daughter, like the album cover, she's bending over backwards, and would you let your daughter do that, Monty? Would you let your granddaughter do that, Monty?
He wouldn't want that. Well, here's the difference, though. You said would he let or would he want? Because you can't let someone over 18 do anything. You can not want them to do it. And I do think there is some...
Well, him being the chairman, he has to say so.
What's good, everybody? This is Ray Daniels, aka the Culture Referee. And if you were wondering who this beautiful woman sitting next to me is my sister Tiffany Daniels Sai. Let's give it up for my sister. Everybody can clap. This is good. And my sister she's the most talented person in the family, and we started a family business, a signature scent company. So if you like smoke a lot of weed in your car and you want to get the scent out, you have to check out these scents. I know guys that use it for the weed. I know people that use it for cologne, and everywhere they go to get compliments. We make candles. We make
room sprays. We got them in kits. So if you want to buy something for your loved one or anybody you know that you care about, hit us up, LorayandCo.com.
and we're going to put the website at the bottom of it. But support this black business, support this black woman, and order, I promise you guys. As a matter of fact, use the word gods, and we'll give you 15% off. I just made that up, so if my sister's face looks crazy, don't get mad at her. I'll eat that. But guys, when I tell you this shit is incredible, you really should check this out.
The best scents ever.
LorayCo.com, and we'll put it at the bottom of the screen. Thank you.
Thanks.
So let's say that his daughter could rap or whatever. Do you think he would allow that? Because he has the right to say yes or no, being the chairman.
Well, technically, I'm gonna say from the inside, technically he doesn't. He does, but he doesn't. Because what he just say he's the chairman, which he's the father figure of the company. He can't censor an artist for moral reasons, because then she can say, well, you put out this artist right here, and he's saying,
right.
So you see what I'm trying to say? So for him, it's a very thin line.
But his daughter, do you think that he would let his daughter do that? Do you think he would put out an album for the world to see his daughter in some type of funny twister position?
I think that he would much rather him do it than John Janik do it at Interscope. So I think that he.
You think so?
I think he would. I think he would get to the place in this world where, and that's another I want to talk to you, because as a father, I think I'm doing my best as a father. But the one thing that I'm learning is that none of us was taught anything. We're all growing up, and sometimes we have a lot of misguided anger.
Yes.
So for me, that was another thing. When that was the thing I said, I was like,
you're right.
I know why he's mad, but I want to take this opportunity to express it, because I feel like the only thing that you really need right now is a little bit perspective. So I do think it's unfair for you to say, do I think Monty will let his daughter do that? Because it's kind of the world he's in, and if he's a father like you, then of course you know he doesn't want to do that. But you also know, Benzino, because when you was 17, 18, 19, I'm pretty sure you was out there doing what you had to do in your thing, and your mom probably didn't approve of that.
Right.
So at that point, I feel like you got to give Coi, Monty, all those guys around kind of the grace right now, only because when you remember when you was 16, 17, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna say this straight up, guys. I'm a father. I love my daughter. I want my son to have as many women as he would like, and I pray that my daughter finds one man that she loves and be with him. Is that hypocritical? Absolutely.
Necessary hypocrisy.
No, I'm saying I'm owning this hypocritical, because honestly, that's how I was raised. My father would tell me, I want you to get all the girls, and tell my sister, don't let a boy. So I'm just giving you what I know.
Right, you're
you
right.
Feel me? So for me,
right.
now we do know in 2023, the world is different. Women want to show their bodies. Women don't want to be controlled by men. I get all of that stuff. But I think what I would say to you, me looking, just me being Ray looking, I feel like it's one of those things where Coi might be kinda embarrassed by you, but not by who you are, but how you're acting. So imagine if I'm in business with these guys, or imagine Tupac. Let's use, I see his name written right there on the table. Tupac leaves, he gets out of jail and he signs a death row, and his mother is like, I don't want them Suge is exploiting my son, and da-da-da. It's like, he would probably be like, Ma, I don't think it's because I saw you and her at the Rolling Loud, and I ain't gonna lie, because I'm a little invested, a little tear came to my eye. Because I know deep down, that's all you want, and that's all she wants.
And some closure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So for me, I saw that, but then I also think that when you start, because you're a man, and I think you are the true definition of a real man, which means if a woman disrespects you, you're probably gonna say, I'm gonna fight your husband. I ain't gonna touch you. Where your husband at? You see what I'm saying? So now, in your mind, what I'm seeing is that he's disappointed at where he's at with his daughter, and he sees people around him, and you're also saying, you're projecting also, brother. Ray, my brother Ray, I just have to tell you that. You're projecting also. Let me tell you what I mean. You say, she's talking to Angie. You know Angie don't like me? She's with Monty. Monty don't like me. Why don't he like you? Maybe it's because of this. It's this book called The Four Agreements, and it says never assume. Because once you assume, that becomes a fact in your head. Once it's a fact in your head, you react to that fact. So you're reacting to facts in your head, and now it's making her kind of feel like, I don't know what to do. Imagine if your mother was, when you were in your heyday with The Source, hated Dave Mays and was like, he got my son doing stuff. Like, you would probably be like, Ma, like, I'm getting chill. You see what I'm saying? And I think the hardest part for you is that she is a girl. And we don't talk enough about relationships between fathers and daughters. Because fathers, most of us have been players, and we don't want our daughter to deal with them, but they want to be with a player because they love their dad. They want to be with a guy that's
it's hard.
You see what I'm saying? So I think a lot of it for you has been misguided anger and really kind of acting out. And I think that that's what's making it hard for her, because it's like, how can I even fix it with my dad? When my dad is saying on these platforms that Monty took my daughter to her graduation, or Monty wouldn't let his daughter do that. She's like, Dad, this ain't a Monty problem. This is a me and you problem. So why are you bringing in Monty? Why are you saying Busta's name? Now, Busta I get because that's your friend. Different I get, but even for her, it's like, what am I supposed to do, well, Dad? I'm in my get money state. She's in the moment that you were in when you had The Source. And I'm pretty sure if you just look back at that moment for 1 second, I want you to ask yourself, Benzino, who in your life when you had The Source could have come to you and tell you to stop doing something and you would have listened?
I just think the only thing is like, okay, and everything you're saying has a lot of validity, and everything you're saying I really understand. From my point of view, though, once the first song came out, Disrespecting Me, and to me, fatherhood is something that, yes, you know, it's a sensitive thing to me, because once again, people don't really take in consideration that we necessarily wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared, and I don't think a lot of people are, to be fathers.
Yeah,
you know,
fathers of little girls.
I was gonna say that, yeah. Especially to a daughter. So, you know, it's like if the disrespect wasn't there, then, and from the first song, I don't know if she didn't get on the internet and disrespect me. Because that was a hard pill to swallow. Like, I grew up my whole life, you know, most of my guys are wiped out.
Yeah.
Over just trying to keep respect. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You know, my father was, one of the main things is, you know, being a man is keeping respect. Most important thing we need is respect. Yeah, because you'll get swallowed up if you let people disrespect you. You know, I think what you're saying could be right if the disrespect wasn't so loud and it wasn't out there for the public to see it, because I felt like I didn't deserve it. And all right, so we went through that, but here we go again. She's made 2 more songs.
I get it.
And you know, the Busted thing, like, this is my thing with the Busted thing. First of all, it got blown up once again on the internet. I was just on a live, somebody asked me, hey, what did you think about the Busta Rhymes song? And me, I don't candy coat shit. I speak what's on my mind. I speak the truth because it's my truth, and you're gonna take it or leave it. It's up to you, but it's my truth. I said I didn't appreciate it, and I didn't. You know, not just the Busta thing. French Montana did a song with it. She's talking about her shit, and I don't appreciate none of that. Because at the end of the day, these guys knew me when she was, listen, me and Busta was together right before the planes hit 9/11.
Yep.
All right? We was at the studio on Broadway. And I think him and Scarface did Figaro, the Teddy Riley joint.
Yeah.
And it was he's been into the Source Awards. He's won Source Awards. Like, there's always been, you know, I was a big Leaders of the New School fan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I really like Charlie Brown out the group.
Yeah, he was
but
dope.
Busta was the one that stuck out, so he's always stuck out. He's a legend. There's no question. The times where we hooked up, I felt good about that because I'm hooking up with a legend, all right, in hip hop, and I'm a hip hop guy.
Yep.
So it's awkward when I'm seeing Busta in a video with my daughter half naked, or Busta putting fire emojis under a picture on my daughter's Instagram. Like, that's awkward to me, Ray. Like, I would never, ever be under somebody's daughter's Instagram.
Well, it's one thing you're not factoring in, though. You're right. By the way, as a black man, nothing you said is wrong, but the only thing is that your daughter is a famous star now. So he's not commenting under your daughter's Instagram page.
No.
No, hear me out. I'm just saying he's commenting he's commenting fire emojis under a star's Instagram page who he respects. But if this is me talking to you like my brother right now. Can I do this? Me talking like my brother right now.
Your daughter, Ray, your daughter.
Hear me out real quick. Me talking like a brother right now. What I'm saying to you is that I believe that this is you being frustrated with this scenario. Because if you and Coi was cool, do you think you'd do that? Do you think if you and Coi
I don't want nobody who I know who's my age.
Yes.
You know, Busta might be a year or two older than me.
Yeah.
Busta could be almost 60 years old,
Yeah.
putting fire emojis under my daughter if she got some short shorts on. I don't want none of my friends I grew up with. I don't want nobody. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I think it's inappropriate. I think you have to factor in the father's feelings. It's not about.
I do agree with that.
This isn't just about Coi's feelings and what Coi wants in Coi's career. I'm attached to this. My feelings count. I'm her father. Like that infuriates me. Like, I don't want to see anybody that I grew up with putting fire emojis under my daughter if she got a bikini on. Only because, right, Ray, I would never do no shit like that never. I couldn't think about doing it. Never mind doing it if they was their sister, if they was their auntie, never mind a daughter.
Yeah.
And my thing is, like, when I said it wasn't beef. Obviously, it was a type of forgiving because I didn't, and see, me and Spliff Star,
yeah, me
and Spliff are like this.
Yeah.
Like, the last couple of years, we got close to where that we really talk about real shit, call each other. Me and Bus really don't keep in touch, but when I seen his interview, and it's true, he's doing it with Angela. Angela Yee don't fuck with me. Angie Martinez, they don't.
Do you know that for a fact?
100%.
How do you know for a fact?
Because this is long-going beef.
I'm just asking you.
Yeah, because this is long-going beef with shit that happened years ago with the Eminem situation in Hot 97. It's yes, 100%. They don't like me. They'll tell you that.
Okay, cool.
You know what I'm saying? And
so they say that I've never heard them say.
And that's all right. You don't have to like me, but you already know what you're doing in these cases. You already know, and I get it. It's the internet. I was just disappointed at Bus when on there because it's like he took the bait. Because again, I didn't make no big thing out of this.
Yep.
Somebody asked me, I said I didn't appreciate it, and that was it.
Yeah.
I have the right to say that, Ray.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck who cares, I could care less. That's how me feels. You know, I made Coi, that's my daughter. I was there taking care of her all these years before anybody knew Coi.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it don't factor what comments and everything. I never said anything. So when he said call him, call you for what? You've already done the video.
But
if anything, if we're talking ethics, you should have called me. You should have made sure before you even thought about doing anything to get my approval. That's ethics. Ethics is calling me. If we're bros, she can't be sis. She's niece. If me and you are bros, you can't call her sis. That's niecey.
I get that.
That's if it's a son, it's nephew.
Yeah.
If it's I know for a fact, no way on God's earth Busta wants the same thing to his daughter what happens to mine. There's no way. I get it that he's still relevant. He's doing song with young artists and everything, but some things you just have to just chalk up like, you know what, it's not even worth it. Is it worth doing a song with Coi to really kind of compromise our relationship? Was that worth? Is that because as far as I'm concerned, he's wrong. And then he goes on. Thing is, explain it again. Going to the internet. Everybody goes to the internet. Number two, you talking code of ethics. You broke the code of ethics when you did a song with my 25-year-old daughter. You're 60 years old. Like, and you broke code of ethics when you putting fire emojis under my daughter's shit. Like, that's just, you know what I mean? It's not beef. There's no beef. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you how I feel as a father. If that's not respected, then I could care fucking less what comes after that.
Okay, so I have a couple comments I want to make to that because I'm your accountability partner. So
yes.
The first thing I'm gonna ask you is do you think it's possible that the reason why you and your daughter relationship isn't what you want it to be or she wants it to be is because you're so controlling? I'm asking you that.
No.
So, okay,
because I don't control nothing.
No, but hear me out. You don't control nothing, but the reason why you're mad is because people are doing things that you don't think they should do.
The reason why I'm mad is because she's disrespectful and she's lying on my reputation and people that I've helped, that I've been there for, that was cool. Just take it like it's nothing. Like I'm not a father, like I don't have feelings. People are disregarding me and my feelings and who I am. That's the reason I'm mad. And to me, I should be upset. Like, if I didn't give a fuck, then none of this would even matter. And as far as her goes, listen, people say Coi's grown.
Yeah.
Coi's of age. As far as grown, these 25-year-olds ain't the same 25-year-olds when me and you grew up. It's just not.
Yeah.
They could be like 18, 17,
yeah.
The mentality. Now, maybe on the internet, they're grown, but that's a different world. Out here in real life and the shit that I went through, that's not grown. Like, my job is to protect my daughter from older men, from men. The number one thing, my job is to protect my daughter from men. This world is nasty out here, and I've been around all the villains. I've been around all the dirty, nasty, disgusting motherfuckers. So automatically, I know, and that's the only thing that I want is her to be safe. And as far as I'm concerned, that whatever it was that you or she may call it, it worked. Because my daughter wasn't in the strip club, my daughter didn't get pregnant, and for the most part, my daughter's successful. She's seen it from somebody. No disrespect for her mother never worked.
Yeah.
Who else is she looking at?
Yeah. So,
who else is she taking it from?
Let me ask you a question. You said you sold, let's stay with she's 25. When you sold drugs when you were 25? I don't know the years.
I started 13.
Okay, 13. Okay, let's go. Let's say you're 18.
13.
I'm gonna say you're 18. Let's say you're 18 years old, and let's say the person that you get your work from is Ray. His name is Ray, right? My name. And let's say your mother, who is hardworking, 30 years, working in insurance, doesn't want her son in the streets. So she's at the top of mountains on news saying, my son is getting his drugs from a drug dealer named Ray, and Ray is selling, and my son is selling drugs. Like, at that moment, do you stop selling drugs and go fix it with your mother, or do you kind of try to do what you do or separate yourself? I'm trying to put you in the shoes.
That's a great point because my conscience was always fucked up. Like I used my mother crying would affect me. Her being sad or mad at me would always affect me.
Sure.
But it didn't stop me. I still got to be out there and I still got to do what I did because my father's influence when it came to streets was way greater than her crying about me being in the streets.
So I'm glad you said that. So now that you said that, let's stay there. So do you not, Coi is your daughter. Half her DNA is you. And it's funny because it's like a lot of us as parents, we want our kids to be better than us.
Of course.
But she's you. So it's just, she's probably reacting the same way, like, I want my dad around, but I don't want my dad around if he's gonna be messing up my relationship with these people who I can get this money with, the same way you would want your mom around, but I'm selling dope, Mom, I'm getting money, I don't got time. Tell me the difference.
Because First of all, man and women, daughter and father. A father's #1 job is to protect his daughter. That's it. Girls get fondled, played with all the time.
For sure,
bro. It's something that happens very regularly in our community, where girls grow up and they've been attacked by older men.
Predators.
Especially if they're beautiful.
Yep.
Especially if they're society beautiful. Because, you know, God gave everybody beauty. But if they look in a certain way, and then there's uncles and cousins and friends and this and that, and that's it. Every man is looking at him as a piece of meat. Look, I mean, think about it. You know, Coi does all this twerking and everything now, but that wasn't Coi back then. You know what I'm saying? Coi figures out, okay, and just like all these other girls figure out, I gotta do this to keep my career going. I gotta do this to get that attention. I gotta do this whereas the talent of music really doesn't even come into play. Because look, look, women on Instagram could have 2 million followers, 3 million followers, shaking their ass all day, all night. Walk through an airport, don't even know, nobody know who the fuck they are.
I agree.
It's false, and they don't know that. That leads them down to a lane. Now, me being a father and being of age, I know that. Whether she agrees with it or who agrees with it, I know that to be a fact. That doing that, I know it may bring you quick money. I know you may think that, but eventually that's gonna lead you to a lane that you're not gonna wanna be in. Because the only way that people are looking at you or giving you any type of attention is because of a perverse thought.
But I'm glad you said that. Let's stay here. Because this is two Rays talking, but there's also two fathers talking.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you a question. Just curious.
Yes.
You enjoy porn?
I like porn.
Me too. I love it. You know what your daughter
We got that in
porn,
common.
right?
Hell no.
Me neither. By the way, me neither. I don't think no man that enjoys porn wants to watch his daughter do porn.
Hell no.
I'm with you on that. But what I'm saying is that, so the first thing is that you got to understand that there is a necessary hypocrisy. But in 2023, the hardest lesson that I think all us real men are learning is that we don't have no more control over what women do with their bodies. Women, it's my body, my choice. Like, you could be a dad. You could be up there trying to protect her. It's her body, her choice.
But Ray, we know that.
I know that.
I've known that for I don't have any control over any woman's body. All I'm saying is that we live in a very hypersexualized society, and the ramifications that come from that are damaging.
I agree.
Are damaging. Watching too much porn is damaging.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I agree.
I had to fall back a little bit myself because after a while, that shit is, man.
You love it.
You start, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you start really, really getting into it to where it's like, it really takes, why would you even need a woman when you could just jerk off all day to porn? You know what I'm saying? That shit is not reality, and it's not healthy. It's not good at the end.
Let me ask you a question. You still watch it though, right?
Do I still? Of course.
That's why I'm trying to get you to see.
But not as much.
Okay, but
I gotta discipline myself, because if I don't, I know I'm going down a dark hole. Porn leads to drug use. Porn leads to a whole bunch of dark situations that, trust me, when it's all said and done, porn can do more damage to you, and that's why I'm saying with this hypersexualized, people are just saying, hey, girls, their body, they're this, hey, but I think down the road, I think there's gonna be ramifications that's gonna be very damaging to our community. That's just me.
I do too. I do too, but I also could say the same thing about hip hop, and you played a major role in giving hip hop artists a huge voice. So what I'm saying to you, Benzino, is that you're not wrong for how you feel.
Who's your favorite porn star, Ray?
Oh man, I got a lot. Janet Jackman.
Janet Jackman?
Yeah, she's incredible. But here's the thing. I watched her when I was 14 years old.
Yeah, I was going to say, Janet Jackman is at least 60 right now.
Yeah, I fell in love when I was 14, and nobody's better than her. She has a memory in my brain.
Wow.
But what I'm saying to you is that, and I also I've been doing my research, and man, I ain't gonna lie, Ben, I saw you say you snatched some girl that was incredible video vixen. I ain't gonna put it out because that's not what this is about.
I've had a lot. No, I'm not gonna lie. I've had a lot.
So I'm glad you're saying that. So what I'm asking you is do you think that you are trying to protect your daughter from men like you?
Yes.
No,
Ray, 100%.
I know that's, listen, as a brother, I know that's what it is, but here's the thing, what you gotta understand.
Ray.
She was raised in a house with you. You are what she knows better than you are what she's more familiar with than anything else in this world, men like you. I'm pretty sure when you had her around, you had other street niggas around that protected her, right?
I'm glad you said that, but as I'm looking at me, like, I know guys that are way worse than me, so it really would, like, okay, being very promiscuous
Yeah.
and wanting to fuck multiple women, have sex with multiple women, I still have to treat the woman with dignity and respect. I always was that type of guy. Like, even though I probably was a schmuck because I'm just running around fucking everybody, not caring about as far as being in a relationship and cheating, but the person I was with, I wasn't a caveman. I still know how to treat a woman. I still know how to talk to a woman. I still know how to charm a woman, court a woman. It just wasn't always, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, men like me only because I know all I wanted was the pussy. But there are way worse men like me that I want her to be wary of. You know what I'm saying? Especially older men.
But let me ask you
especially because older men can manipulate the fuck out of young men.
We got many more. You got many more years over her. You could do that.